Welcome back. We have Tim Moy here with security, and thanks for being here as always. You put on a great event not too long ago.
It went really well.
Okay,
yeah, it
good.
was the Earthquake Expo at Clubhouse 3.
Okay.
We had a great speaker, a gentleman by the name of Mark Bentham. He's a earthquake expert from, again, University of Southern California.
Right.
He came down, he spoke to some of the threats here in Southern California, South Orange County, and just went over some of the things that we should be doing as residents to protect ourselves.
Right. Now, you had a record crowd. I mean, we have some photos that showed how many people were there.
Right.
And you had all these different sort of, like, what are they, steps?
Right, 7 steps to protect yourself, and that was all lined up by them. Matter of fact, I've got to give kudos to our ham radio club.
Right.
We partnered with the Disaster Preparedness Task Force. A lady by the name of Grace Stencil did a great job coordinating that. So, and just bringing everybody together and getting the communication out to the community as well, and drawing people in.
It looks like you had some education. I mean, obviously you were up there talking about things that were going on, but then the gentleman that you mentioned, liquefaction. So was he just sort of explaining what happens when you have an earthquake?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So there's quite a few things that can occur based on, boy, I'm not sure exactly how to explain it, but how stable the areas, the ground is, and is it possible that that a building can just collapse, kind of melt into the into the ground?
The earth does open up sometimes.
Right, it sure does. Right, so there's some concerns there as well.
Okay.
And he just covered those things, but the main focus is, what can you do to protect yourself in the event of an earthquake? What are those 7 steps? And it always comes down to preparedness. You've got to prepare yourself. You've got to have your kit on hand. You've got to have your emergency supplies, your contact information. There's so much to do. Right.
And I think we just think, oh, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen until it happens.
Right.
And then we get all paranoid and scared, and we run out and buy all this stuff.
Right.
You know, one thing I did want to know is that, we go and we buy lots of water, and I know there's a certain amount of supplies of water that you're supposed to have, but then at what point do you throw it all away and replenish?
Yeah, you do have to rotate that in and out every few months, and there's guides. If you go to our website, Laguna Woods, and go to disaster preparedness, we'll walk you through that. There's Ready OC through the County of Orange as well, and the amount is a gallon a day. So you want to have at least a gallon per person. And let's not forget, that is a lot of water.
Where are you going to put it?
Right.
You know what? You have to have a specific shelf for all of that. Yeah.
Right, and rotate it out.
Right. I just watered my grass with about 8 of those.
There you go. If you've got a little garden, if you've got some plants in your manor, just go ahead and at that time, and you mark it on your calendars. You rotate that out.
Okay.
You got to remember about your animals as well.
Right.
So you think, oh, a gallon's a lot, but if you've got a few cats, a dog, what have you, you've got to have a little bit more on top of that.
Okay.
Sure.
And then you also had something very unique there called an earthquake cottage.
We did.
And I thought it was going to be a 7.0, but it was literally an 8.0 earthquake.
Right.
And we have some video, and it looked like a ride.
Right. Yeah. Hey, you're shaking with an 8.0, but let's not forget we had a 7.1.
That's true.
Up about 200 miles north of here. Was it Ridgecrest? Yeah. Ridgecrest, I think. So yeah. And so that's significant. That did millions of dollars of damage up in Northern California. So could it happen here? Absolutely. And they're telling us it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
So we've got to be.
Too bad we can't predict those, right? I mean, they try, but I don't know if that's ever really going to happen.
Right.
So you guys have the Great California Shakeout coming up.
Great California Shakeout. We do that every year. It's just not for Laguna Woods Village. This is a national initiative. Millions of individuals are practicing, safety in the event of an earthquake. And of course, the threat is more extensive here in California. So it's a big initiative, more of a focus here.
So what are you supposed to do on that day?
Right. Well, so for our seniors, I know drop, cover, and hold on. Now, some of our older folks, we know they're not going to get under a table, but we just want you to know where that table is. We want you to know where that safe place is. If you're in a hallway and you've got picture frames, if you've got a bookshelf, what have you, we know that's not safe, and that's not a place to brace yourself. You're going to have to move and get under something. If you can't move, you know, if you're in a wheelchair, you're in a walker, there's other things that you can do, but the primary thing is to cover your vital organs, to cover your head.
Right.
If you're in bed and you don't move very well, they just say stay in bed, put a pillow over yourself, cover your vitals.
Gosh, but the first thing to do is run.
You would think,
well,
right?
Only because I've been in so many of them because I've been here forever.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
it's like you think, oh my
we
gosh.
all have, haven't we? Yeah.
I just feel like you need to go get in the doorway because that's what I was taught long ago, or you just want to run out the front door.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's not the good
But that's
point.
dangerous. And that old door frame thing, it
doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's. I tell you what, as we get more information, we want to make sure that we educate our folks.
Okay.
It's just like CPR.
Right.
You know, it was. One beat every few seconds, you know, one and two, and now it's 1, 2, 3, 4,
so
much quicker.
Okay.
Yeah, so as we learn more, we want to definitely pass that on.
Okay.
While I'm on that, I don't know. Hey, we offer free CPR here. You know, so that's part of that whole recovery and awareness and preparedness. Is what if something does happen? We have first aid classes, we have CPR classes, free of charge. We offer those throughout the year.
Oh, that's great.
Here. It is.
Good to know.
Yeah. So getting back to the earthquake preparedness. So the other part of it is, we want you to think about that. Am I expecting you to go under a table? No, but know where it is, know how to get there, know the risks inside your manor. We don't want you to be near a window. Again, if you have an unsecured bookshelf that could potentially fall and it's got a TV on it, what have you, you could be harmed. The other part is our good neighbor captains.
Right.
We've got a team of good neighbor captains, several hundred of them, and they're going to activate. They're going to don their yellow vests. I know you've all seen them. I've worn them.
You worn one.
Right,
I
did, yeah. And they've got a clipboard. They've received training. They should have a list of their neighbors, and they're going to just simulate that earthquake, and they're going to go check on the building, look for damage, and they're going to check in with their neighbors.
So that's going to happen next week.
The 17th.
And is there a particular time of day that they're going to do this, or is it just random?
It's 10:17 in the morning.
Of course.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
Right. Well, each year they do it on Thursday, and whatever that date is, they're just going to connect it to the time. Yeah. So.
All right. So 10:17.
We're also doing a Code Red test.
Right. Now, what does that mean?
Code Red's our emergency notification system in here in the village. So if there's a major power outage, if there's something going on that we want to alert our residents to, we'll send out a Code Red. Okay. We've got that form. I know I've also shown that here as well, and it's downstairs. It's a contact information.
Right.
And so if we can get everybody in this, then they'll receive that text message, the phone call, or the email. On Thursday, we're going to just do a text and an email. We're not going to call you. So when you get that alert, and it'll tell you, hey, Code Red test, Great California Shakeout.
Oh, good.
So right. And then we'll also be marketing that if for whatever reason you don't get it and you have signed up to notify resident services so we can make the corrections and figure out why you didn't get contacted. But hey, we want to have every single resident in this system in the event of a fire, in the event of some type of natural disaster. How are we going to get a hold of you? We're going to start with Code Red.
Right.
Get that out to you. Right.
Well, I would imagine that because you had such a good turnout at the last event.
Right.
Were you collecting names and stuff?
We
at that
were,
time too?
and the same for Alert OC. So that's a countywide alert system.
Excellent.
So yeah, we've got a lot of technology out there, a lot of methods to get a hold of our residents. But this is one that has proven to be successful.
Exactly.
You know, if there's something going on where you need to leave evacuation, or we want to send a certain message to just a segment of the community, you know, we should be able to do that in a way that gets to you within seconds.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And then let's talk a little bit about how you become a good neighbor captain, because I know you might be looking for some people now.
Right, yeah, so we've got, 18,000 residents here living in the village. We've got about 400 good neighbor captains.
Okay,
and
how many do you want?
Oh, we want 800, 1,000.
Oh, okay. Oh,
right.
Wow.
So
wow.
if you think about it, you know, with 12,736 manors, yet only 400 good neighbor captains, they just can't cover it all.
Exactly.
And if you don't know who your good neighbor captain is, you probably don't have one.
I see.
And so in the event of something horrific that occurs, and your building's down and you're trapped, and there's so much going on, we're going to rely on that captain to check on their neighbors and to report that information up.
Okay.
But if we don't have one, you're obviously going to rely on other neighbors that hopefully step forward.
Right.
Hey, just going back to that presentation on September 14th, Mark Benthian, he showed a documentary, and it was on Quake Heroes, and it was neighbors helping neighbors.
Oh, there you go.
And I know we've got heroes here. I know there's going to be a large number of people who are going to step forward and say, hey, I can help in the event of emergency. What I'm asking is sign up now, become that good neighbor captain, so we know who you are and that this specific area is covered. That's what we're looking for.
And it's easy, right? I mean, what do you have to do to become a good neighbor captain?
10 to 2 hour course, and we walk you through it. And then if you can't, if the dates don't work, then just come hunt us down. We'll get you signed up. We'll get you that vest. We'll get you that form. We'll give you the basic directions.
Okay.
And just.
And so you want them to call security?
We do. Yeah.
Okay. And give them the
580-1400. Give us a call. Come by our office. Email. Whatever it takes. Yeah. Okay. We'll get them signed up.
Well, good. Well, we definitely need more captains. So hopefully they'll have more people come forward.
Right. So the Great California Shakeout next Thursday
at 10:17.
Practice your earthquake awareness.
Yes.
Take a walk through your manor.
Right.
And then be ready for someone to knock on your door to check on you, and they may have that bright yellow vest.
And don't run outside your house.
Don't run outside. No, that's dangerous. Yeah, right.
It is. All right. Well, thank you very much for the information.
Good to see you.
And remember that the California Shakeout is October 17th at 10:17. And then if you would like to be a good neighbor captain, just give security a call. We'll be right back.